Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our Common Sense Summit today. I have an absolutely fabulous guest for us, and her name is Natalie Demarco. And Natalie has quite a resume. She's been mostly in finance her life. She was the managing director of corporate development for a very large company. Many of you have heard of it, Fisher Investments, for several years, full time with them for about 14 years. Um, she was also the VP for the region. No, she was also the managing director of Britfield. And that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. In addition, our mutual interest in re-inhabiting the Republic. So we're going to talk about two topics today. This Britfield project that Natalie is involved with is absolutely fascinating. I've fallen in love with it. My kids love it. And it's really an amazing project. So, Natalie, let's turn it over to you. Tell them anything else you want me to, or you want to tell the audience about you and your background and how it all relates to what we're doing now with Britfield and the Republic. Go ahead.
Sure, Clyde. Thank you. Thank you for having me today. Yeah, you know, I've had an eclectic career thus
Hmm.
far. Been
Right,
in about seven different industries, but um, mainly the majority of my career has been in the financial realm,
right,
uh, whether that be wealth management, capital markets, Wall Street, helping companies go public as a consultant and advisor. But the majority of my career was spent at Fisher Investments, as you mentioned. I
hmm,
ran the East Coast of the United States for them for a number of years. And during my tenure of running the East Coast, uh, my team and myself, we brought in over 10 billion in assets under management. Um,
wow,
but after about
incredible.
yeah, it worked hard, a lot of hard work, a lot of hard
Hmm.
work,
Hmm.
95% travel. But after about 13, 14 years, I decided, I want to get out there and do something new. I'm the type of personality, once I take on a new challenge
Hmm.
and I succeed at it after, giving back as much as I can, I get to a point where I want personal growth.
Right,
So look for something new that I can help others, and yet grow personally as well. And I decided to venture out on my own, become an entrepreneur. So I've been consulting over the past few years and advising. And as you mentioned, Britfield is my latest and greatest dear to
yeah,
my heart projects. It's very humanitarian in a lot of ways, and we can get into that. But
absolutely.
it's humanitarian. It's a legacy venture
Hmm.
for investors,
Hmm.
and we're launching our global expansion this month. And so I'm helping them as a managing director of corporate development, and overseeing the 10 million
Right.
capital for that for that.
Awesome. Well, the thing that I was so excited about it is so timely because everyone is so concerned in our country about education, the education of our children, and the things that they're being exposed to, not only in the schools but also in the movies and all the entertainment and things like that. So, Brookfield is a welcome, refreshing change to all of that. And I know you'll be able to explain that to everyone. But
Yeah,
after reading the first book, which I did in just probably 3 days, I couldn't put it down. And, I'm 75, so I'm an old child. But but I
55,
loved it.
55, Clyde.
Thanks. Appreciate it. But anyway, when I read that first book, I thought, oh yeah, okay. This thing is going to be amazing. And the timing is perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah. A little bit more about Britfield. It's a seven-book series.
Mhm.
It's fiction, but it's based in real time. And it's one of the most award-winning fiction series books. It's breaking all kinds of records. There you go. That's the first book.
Yeah.
Field and the Lost Crown is book one out of seven. There
Mhm.
you go. And
Really
we
good.
have, I don't have the fourth book with me, but all fourth book just came out. This is book two, Britfield and the Rise of the Lion.
Mhm.
It's funny
Yeah.
when you put this stuff up on the background screen.
There,
I'll
that
be
got
patriotic today with my,
it.
and also book three and book four just came out. They're fascinating. And you know, they read like a movie. They're not,
Mhm.
you know, they're not a two-page series here. But it's we're getting phenomenal feedback from around the world because our books are global, but we want to expand and get it in the hands of more children and adults. 55% of our readers are actually adults. Our readers range from 7 to
Mhm.
93 thus far.
Yeah.
Um,
It
and
reminds me of Star Wars because it appeals to all ages.
yeah, it does. I mean, I couldn't put it down.
Mhm.
When I got a hold of the first book, I just could not put it down. It's like this is, you know, and I had a little bit of background in you know, helping people go through the script writing for films and whatnot. I had a TV series back in the day
Mhm.
that was being pitched by a major you know, independent distributor.
Mhm.
And so I have a little bit of background that I know enough, you know, that I can be of help.
Right.
But we are in pre-production of the first movie. There will be 7 movies. Um, uh, you know, coordinating with each book series. And again, we're in thousands of schools in the US.
Mhm.
Um, and we just want to get it out there to more kids. It's not a series like Harry Potter. There's no demigods, there's no magic, there's no occult, there's nothing like that. There's no superheroes. This is all real,
Mhm.
based on the main two characters are children. They start out at 12 years old. It's contemporary times, it's real time. And each book they get a year older.
Mhm.
So the first book starts out in the UK and they're orphans. And it's teaching kids creativity, communication, collaboration. Um,
Geography too, right?
yeah,
Because it's
geography,
all different parts of the world.
correct. Geography, history, real history,
Mhm.
architecture,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's helping kids use critical thinking as well, and giving them the basis of from you know, reasoning through their problems,
Mhm.
right? And they can
Yeah.
succeed. So there's a lot of lessons in the books, but I'm telling you, this book is very age appropriate for adults, and it's exciting when you read it. It's very
Mhm.
action packed,
Mhm.
adventure, problem solving, mystique.
Mhm.
Uh, but again, it's teaching the children and adults, if you will, that you know what, the human spirit can
Mhm.
survive and overcome all odds.
Yeah.
You know, you believe in yourself. So this is also getting into the curriculum in US schools.
Mhm.
But again, you know, we need to raise the money and have the capital, the working capital to be
Mhm.
able to spend more time in making sure more schools have it. Homeschoolers as well.
Mhm.
And there's actually a workbook that our founder and yeah, Chad Stewart, he's the
Right.
creator of this. He's dedicated, my goodness, 10 years of his life towards this.
Mhm.
Um, and yes, he's a phenomenal writer and script writer, but he spent about 12 years. He's from California, Newport Beach, California, currently lives in San Diego. And he spent a good number of years, about 12 years, I believe, in Boston.
Mhm.
He went to school there, and he was also on Wall Street, you know,
Mhm.
worked for some of the large institutional brokers and
Right.
whatnot. So he has that background in as well. He's very astute in finance himself. So he's
Right.
an
Right.
entrepreneur, but he's a very gifted, talented writer.
Mhm.
And these stories, God bless him. I don't know how he came up with this because it's very original.
Mhm.
And he threads throughout the series um, truth and what's actually going on in the world today,
Mhm.
without pushing any ideology, nothing like that.
Mhm.
It's just pure intrigue. And we get letters from kids that are 7, 8, 12 years old saying, hey, in book 2, you mentioned this, and
Mhm.
could it be that you're thinking of, it's awesome. It really engages both kids and adults.
Well, you've introduced me to Chad, and we've had many chats now and talks, and he is like a very well-educated kid in a
Mhm.
way, because he can definitely relate to kids because
Yeah.
he's kind of like a very innocent, childlike personality. At the same time, he's really smart and very well-educated, and like you say, been around the world and he knows different cultures and everything. So he's like the perfect person to put all this together.
Yes.
His enthusiasm is unbounded.
Yes, and
Uh,
he spent time in Europe as well. He's lived in Europe off and on, and
mhm,
um, so the first book starts out in the UK. So
mhm,
he spent 2 years in the UK, off
mhm,
and on, and then the second book is France. The third book uh, is Italy. The
mhm,
fourth book starts out. It's all Eastern Europe and Russia. It starts out in, I believe, Vienna, Austria, if I recall now.
right.
Um, the fifth book will be Asia. The sixth book, South America. The seventh book ends up in the United States, and then by
Wow.
then, Tom and Sarah, the main characters that start out at 12, will be 18.
Mhm,
So might be a little love story towards the
yeah.
end too. So the movie, the script is ready to go. We're in talks now. It's an independent film, but we're in
Right.
talks now with some major distributors,
Mhm,
the likes of which most people would recognize their household names. Can't get into that right now until obviously we either have a letter of intent or
mhm,
contract, if you will. But yeah, it's amazing. And just think of the opportunities here with merchandise and
mhm,
um, the book sales are taking off. And you know, this is all based on a very
mhm,
small budget, and he's already sold over, I think, 300,000 copies
mhm.
um, on a
So it's
shoestring
it's
budget.
definitely got legs. It's
Yeah.
definitely got momentum. It definitely has a lot to offer for parents. So, if you're a parent of kids, grandkids,
Mhm.
get them involved with these books. I highly recommend it.
Mhm.
If you're an investor or you're willing to invest some money or you want to make some money on something that could really have the potential of Harry Potter or Star Wars, it's got those elements. It's got elements of both of those, but it's just I just think it's going to be something that's going to be at least as successful as those two series.
Yeah, we have a few analysts that have taken a look at this and they're blown away. And
Mhm.
they're the ones that are telling us that they think
Mhm.
this is a big enterprise.
So, where can we tell people to go to get more information on this, Natalie, for Britfield?
You can go to www.britfield.com.
Okay.
It's the main website. It's also an award-winning
Mhm.
website as well.
Oh,
If you want more information, you can send me an email. I'm at Natalie@Britfield.com. Britfield is Britfield, Natalie@Britfield.com, or you can just go to the main, our website too, and peruse that a little bit as well. Learn more. But yeah, Britfield, the world of Britfield is definitely a rare opportunity to get
mhm,
involved if you really believe in making a significant difference in the world. Like I
mhm,
said, this is humanitarian because it's redefining not only children's education, literature,
mhm,
family friendly entertainment. Um, Kids can't get enough of these books. And I'm telling you, they range from anywhere like 357 pages to 485 pages in that range. I mean, these are not um, quick, publications. These are things that are well thought out. Chad has poured everything into this, and I'm telling you, he's gonna go down in history books for what he's doing. And
yeah.
as I said, we're being recognized as one of the most awarded
Mhm,
children's fiction books in history. Can you imagine
Mhm.
if all the analysts are correct that are telling us from Wall Street of what they're prognosticating? And it's just a prognostication, right? So
Mhm.
there's no guarantee. But if you look back, Star Wars came out in 1977.
Right.
And to this day, Star Wars is a $68 billion franchise.
Yeah.
Now, that's not just the movies, that's, merchandise. Merchandise is infinite,
Huge. Yeah.
infinite possibilities there.
Right.
And so if somebody wants to get involved in something that truly is humanitarian, it's making a difference, and is also a legacy venture. So the return on investment basically is, paying 10% in perpetuity net of profits on all 7 books to the investor. All 7 books, they get 10% net profit in perpetuity, and all merchandise,
Hmm.
and then also 5% off of the first movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I would have known about, I was still in high school, but I wish I would have known about that in 1977, right? I would have
Oh,
emptied
yeah.
out the piggy bank and would have invested, right? Just kidding.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
can you
So,
imagine? So
yeah.
this is something you can hand down to your children, your grandchildren as well, because you're getting royalties in perpetuity.
Right. Yeah.
It's just amazing. All the way around. There's so much more detail, and happy to share, more information to someone
Right.
who's interested in learning more.
Awesome. So give out your email one more time for everyone. If you
Sure.
could.
It's Natalie at Britfield.com. Britfield is Brit, like Britain, Britfield. Natalie at
Yes.
Britfield.com.
Yes. And for those of you, the last thing I want to say is for those of you who are concerned about what your kids are being exposed to in the schools, this is this is something where you want to take it and try to get it into your pub, maybe your private schools, maybe your homeschooling situations, things like that. So there's so many more aspects to this than just it could be a great money-making venture, but also there's just so many positive aspects to it to really kind of clean up what our kids are being exposed to.
Absolutely. And the reach is endless. There's so many um, areas that we can help with. But the buzz is out there already.
Right,
Um, you know, like I said, Chad's been doing this for 10 years.
right.
Even through COVID. He was visiting schools across the country.
Mhm,
And the only thing and met with thousands and thousands and thousands of kids
mhm,
and hundreds of schools, but had to shut it down because of COVID. So,
mhm.
so, that's impacted everybody, obviously,
Right, right. I can
but
tell. Well, your enthused about it and enthusiasm is well placed because it is. I can attest to it from what I've already seen about it and talking to Chad and reading the book. So, yeah, yeah.
and
Just
I
get
think
involved, folks.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. He's still signing books. So if you order a book, you can order it off of Amazon.
Okay.
Um, but if you do still order it through Britfield.com, he will sign.
Oh,
Um,
great.
he signed a copy and he's running out of time because now we're going to get in, full throttle into the movie.
Right.
So take advantage of it if you do want a signed copy because it really will be a collector's piece.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I bet most of the people listening to this have not even heard of it, and it's going to be something that you want to get yourself and your kids involved in from the educational aspect,
Mhm.
spiritual aspect, and also from a financial prospect. It could be great on all levels. So
Food for the soul and
thank
the
you so much for telling us about Britfield. That is awesome.
And if anybody's listening and wants to do a little bit more research, you can go to rumble.com and just do on the search bar, just put Chad Stewart because he's being interviewed with all over the
Right.
place and some
Yeah.
of my favorite podcasters probably. So check it out. you can see some of the interviews and get a better feel for
Yeah,
Chad.
the Alex Newman interview was very, very good. I just want to mention that one because I'm a big fan of Alex Newman. I've interviewed him, and
Yeah.
he's tremendous. He's one of the people that are really into being concerned about the educational situation, and he's done a lot in that arena with homeschooling and everything. And he interviewed Chad. It was a great interview. So yeah, if you want to look up Rumble, Chad Stewart with Alex Newman, I highly recommend that one.
And the Hackman report too. The
Right,
Hackman report too.
right,
He's a huge fan, and
right,
he did a great job too. So
right,
yeah, there's a
right.
lot. It's endless. You'll
Yeah,
be busy for a
yeah.
while.
So thanks. Let's switch gears a little bit because our audience here, I think, is probably all very excited about Britfield and will hopefully follow through with that. But the other thing that Natalie and I are uh, sort of co-conspirators in is, is the enthusiasm that we have for re-inhabiting our original republic. Because our original republic is not what we are operating under at this time. So I'm going to let Natalie tell you a little bit about what is going on with the re-inhabited republic, and we'll spend the rest of our time talking about that issue because that's exciting and very interesting to both of us.
Well,
You want to just say how you got involved at the start there?
yeah, absolutely. Because you're the historian.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I can't compete with your knowledge of history, but and all the details. But yeah, basically, I've been an activist in my own way. You know, we the people. I've been a digital warrior. I've been uh very active in a lot of, I would say, constitutional republic
mhm,
endeavors. You know, I'm anything I can do personally, you know, as just one of many, many American citizens, is get involved in the things that I'm passionate about, such as the Constitution and protecting our rights and the constitutional rights. So through I would say the last 7, 8 years,
mhm,
made a lot of friends in the realm of saving our country. And through some of those friendships, I was appointed and appointed
mhm.
and sworn in as the Free State of Florida, the re-inhabited Free State of Florida, and Constitutional Republic as the treasurer for the state of Florida because of my background in finance. And gladly, you know, said whatever I can do. Now I'm just a pro tem, you know, interim placeholder.
Mhm.
I wasn't elected by we the people, and as yourself, and you can tell them about your
Right.
background.
Yeah.
Um, all of us are interim placeholders until the re-inhabited constitutional republic is put back into play again in front of the people and they're educated on what we're doing.
Mhm.
Um, and then we'll have another election, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And so currently, at least optically, President Trump has been elected under the
U.S.
US.
Corp. U.S. Corp. Yeah.
So if we were to transfer to the
Mhm.
constitutional republic, we would have to have another election,
Mhm.
right? And there's a lot of guidelines on how that's going to play out with 120-day,
Mhm.
um, um, you know, time frame, et cetera. So there's a lot of people involved. All 50 states have, I would say, at least the top 8 pro temp positions filled, including
Right.
governors of each state, 2 senators, et cetera.
Mhm.
So, you know, again,
And that
there's
all comes from Northwest Ordinance, right?
right,
Yeah. And
right,
so basically the Northwest Ordinance had certain characteristics or qualifications that had to be met before a state could come into our union.
right,
That was under the Articles of Confederation, right?
correct.
Yeah. So the Articles of Confederation created that so we could bring in new states.
Right.
So what the re-inhabited republic is doing is using those same qualifications to do exactly what Natalie said, is to fill positions. So Natalie is a treasurer in Florida. I'm a chief justice in Florida, interim. I'm a interim chief justice. Natalie's an interim treasurer. Our good friend Michael Bishop is the pro tem governor, interim governor of Florida. And so um, this has been growing now. I got involved in 2009. There was a huge spurt in 2009, and millions of people were involved. And it came to a crashing end sort of around 2013 or 14 when the government, through the FBI, put the person in charge, which was the pro tem, the interim president, Tim Turner, in jail. They put him in jail and they never charged him with a crime. He, of course, never committed a crime. But the attorney that he was given to assist him explained to him that they think you're going to commit a crime. So they're going to put you in a maximum security prison for 5 years. This is a man that has never broken a law in his life. He's one of the kindest, most gentle men that you'd ever know. Um, Very patriotic, very sweet disposition. And this guy was in jail for 14 years
Yep.
before they finally released him.
And they kidnapped him. They didn't even
Yeah,
formally or legally arrest him. He was
right.
kidnapped and just thrown in jail.
Kidnapped, put in jail. He was poisoned.
Yep.
He was given the opportunity to have a trial. Listen to this, folks. This is really amazing. The day before he was going to have his trial, he was poisoned in the lunchroom so that he could barely talk the day of his trial. And when he got back in his room to get all of his materials, they were all gone. All of his materials, all of his evidence, all of his books, everything was gone. So they poisoned him and took away his materials and his evidence. So 5 years in maximum security. They finally released him to a more lenient uh, time served, and then it was 14 years total before they finally released him.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back to that time frame, what that did is it kind of scared people,
Mhm.
and people thought, well, if the government put somebody in jail, they must be guilty,
And
and
that's all by design. That was all.
yeah, and that was exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to destroy this movement.
Mhm.
So the movement has come back. Tim is back. He's out of prison. But there was a remnant of people that stayed with the Republic during that time and kept it going. And now it has made a resurgence. And about a year ago, um, Dr. N. Colonel, retired Colonel Sandy Marecki, she's a PhD in astrophysics from University of Illinois,
Yep.
was interviewed by a fellow by the name of S.G. Anon. And so if you go to Rumble and you put in S.G. Anon, Colonel Sandy Marecki, Marecki, you will see the first interview that S.G. Anon did. It was his number 63 interview. I'm telling you that because it's a really good PowerPoint there. But just recently, 6 days ago, January 2nd, SG Anon did another interview of Sandy Mayarecki, which is on Rumble. And that's SG Anon number 163. No, 163, 136. No, 163. So that is the new one. I highly recommend you go to Rumble and listen to that because Sandy knows more about this, has done more research, very smart, very, very well spoken. And she, in this most recent interview, really goes through the updates and updates it to where we are now.
Mhm.
And it'll give you a really good kind of a vision of where we've been and where we're going with this. And the fact that the military is, we believe the military very much wants this to work because why would anybody who's patriotic about America want a corporation that was created, which was created in 1871, to be our government instead of our original republic? Because that's exactly what happened, is it was stolen from us during the Civil War because Lincoln could not keep the republic going. Once
Mhm.
the senators, like it was like the senators, what else? Like the cabinet, right? The Lincoln's cabinet, the juror, half the Supreme Court judges were Southern. They all walked out. So our republic basically ceased to operate as a republic in 1860 because that's when all of that happened.
Right.
So from eight,
We haven't had a constitutional republic or a president under the constitutional republic since 1860.
correct. So what happened during that time was the war. Lincoln had to do something, so he created what he called an executive government, instituted military law in the draft, fought the Civil War, won it, used greenbacks to finance it, which was another thing that the bad guys, the bankers that really started this war, and created the Civil War. And there's a great book on that called Dixieland Deceived, which is
Oh,
a phenomenal book. Will
yeah.
show you exactly how the bankers created that war. And then, and then the 1871 corporation, because what did Grant have to do in 1871? The country was completely broke
Mhm.
and he had to get some financing. And so he went to the bankers, and they created a corporation with their associates, the Vatican, the City of London, which is the bar attorneys in England, and those three entities, the royalty of England and other European countries, the Vatican, and the bankers created the 1871 corporation. Actually, it's three corporations in one. We call it the 1871 corporation. So that since that time, they created the 14th Amendment, turned us all into US citizens instead of state citizens. So now we're basically turned into corporate employees. Created the whole birth certificate scam a few years later so that they have our all caps name on our birth certificate and our driver's license so they can use the birth certificate as a bond, which is sold and sold and sold over and over again on the stock market. We don't get any of that. So it's this every scam in the book, all the income tax. Let me just explain a couple of things and comment on these as I'm mentioning, okay? How can you tell that we aren't a republic? Well, is an income tax part of the Constitution? No, it's unconstitutional. Is a property tax part of the Constitution? No. How about red flag laws? What about, right to infringe? No right to infringe on those rights cannot be infringed.
Right.
Red flag laws are unconstitutional.
Right.
You know? So,
Absolutely.
and it goes on and on and on. The
Oh, yeah.
Federal Reserve is unconstitutional.
No.
So the reason that they can get away with that is because they aren't operating under the Constitution. They changed our Constitution under the Republic, changed the title a little bit, and they pretended to operate under the Constitution since 1871.
Yep.
It's a pretend operation. And so we need to restore our Republic, and that's what we're doing. So we hope that everyone that's listening to this today will go to those two videos I just mentioned on Rumble, Dr. Sandy Mayarecki. Those are the two best, the ones with SG and on. listen to those, and then get in. What can you do? You remember the main? It's members dot. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's just Republic for the United States of America.org.
Right. And then
Republic.
I think there's a members dot.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
see if I have
I
that
think
pulled.
there's two that you need to go to.
Members,
Dot
members dot Republic for the United States
of
dot.
America.
I always go to the other one first, but members dot Republic for the United States of America.org.
I think the reason we want people to go to the members, Natalie, is so that they can sign up to be an elector.
That's true. You go to your state and then
Right.
you
And
can
then you
vote.
can, if you want to help at all, the least that we ask you to do would go to that site, become an elector in your state, and then look up and find the local assembly that is in your county. Hopefully, you've got one that's operating. If not, you can create one. So that's what's happening now, and this is very bottom up. It also brings back the concept of bottom up government. You look at our schools today. We were just talking about education, right? So
Right.
what about education? I'm 75. So when I was in sixth grade, I remember that they were showing us the rankings of education worldwide. Which countries had the best math programs, with the best reading programs, on and on and on. Guess who was number one in the entire world?
We used to be.
We used to be.
And
And that
now,
was in 19 when I was in sixth grade, this is in late 1950s.
Mhm.
There was no concept of the federal government having anything to do with education. It was all locals. It was the
Yeah,
parents and the teachers. It was the PTA. That's who ran our educational system, was local.
right. Well, they got rid of civics classes and everything, and they've
Yeah.
been they've been skewing history books for a
Hmm.
long time. But it's all by design. They've been dumbing down the American population through education. They've been dumbing down education and on the university level as well by design.
Yeah.
Um, they, you know, it. There was somebody did a statistic or a analysis and a poll, and they came up with 75%. If you polled 75% of Americans, they can't even name the three branches of government.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's so sad. It's so sad. So when you say we're re-inhabiting the constitutional republic to some people, they're like, huh, what? What?
Mhm.
Huh? And when you tell them, like, just was it yesterday?
Mhm.
Representative Buddy Carter, he just threw out he's introducing a legislation
Mhm.
to abolish the IRS and all federal income tax. And people are like, that'll never happen. You can't do that. Yeah, you can, because you don't understand the Constitution.
Mhm.
First of all, the IRS is not a government entity.
Right.
It's
Puerto
private.
Rican company.
Right. Federal Reserve, same thing.
Mhm.
But let's talk about the good news. Okay.
Yep.
So we are closer than ever of restoring our constitutional republic, number one.
Mhm.
Number two, in the past few months, you've seen SCOTUS ruling. So Chevron deference is huge. If you don't
Yeah.
know what it is, Google it. You know what? Don't even Google it. Excuse me. Go to yandex.com
Mhm.
because you're not going to get all the bogus information that Google pumps out there with their algorithm.
Yandex.com.
Yeah, YAN is in Natalie, D David, EX, yandex.com. Don't even go to DuckDuckGo anymore. They've been compromised as well.
So yandex.com and Google
And
Federal
don't
Reserve.
don't, don't use Google. Just go to
Or I
yandex.com.
mean, and then search for. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Search.
yeah, yeah, that's your search. Right.
Yeah.
That's your but yeah, so the Chevron deference is huge.
Mhm.
All these agencies, Department of Education, you know, uh IRS, Federal Reserve. I mean,
Human services,
yeah,
all
it's
those
all
things. Yeah,
garbage. It's
yeah.
all going to go away.
Labor.
And I'm just to remind people if they don't already know, President Trump is fully aware of this. He's fully involved with this.
Mhm,
He knows.
mhm.
There is a game plan. There is a strategy behind all of this. Okay. It's not like, oh my gosh, how's this ever going to happen? Because, who's going to sell this to President Trump? You don't have to sell anything to him. He knows. He's part of this. He
He
was,
put, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think about 2.5 years ago, I was watching a podcast, and it was Dr. Jan Helper Hayes in Britain
yeah, she was on the BBC or one
on
of the,
BBC talking about the 1871 corporation. And these people, these commentators were absolutely blown away. They had no idea what she was talking about.
well, she gave them a little lesson on the Organic Act of 1871.
Right.
And people don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people don't even know the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. is foreign soil.
Hmm. Yeah.
Most people don't know that. There's so much to it.
Hmm.
Everything's going to change. In my opinion, we're getting away from admiralty, maritime law, which is illegal and unconstitutional, back to common law.
Hmm.
Our attorneys are all going to have to be re-educated because the bar exam, most people don't know what BAR stands for.
Hmm.
It's British
British
Accredited
Accreditation
Registration,
Registry. Yeah.
right? It's
Mhm.
not even US law. It's like,
No. No.
it's insane how we've been bamboozled and
Hmm.
dumbed down.
It's British Admiralty law.
British Admiralty law. So,
Yes.
yeah,
And so that's what we've been under since 1871.
right, right,
And it's not common law. It's not the law of the land.
correct.
It's
Sovereign.
so different than what our founders had in mind for us.
And please stop saying democracy. We are not a democracy. We are a republic.
Mhm.
You don't want to be a democracy.
No, no.
Okay.
We're a republic with some democratic features, basically, but we're really a republic.
Well, when you really define what democracy is,
Hmm. Yeah.
it's just,
Yep.
if
Three wolves and a sheep sitting
exactly,
at the table deciding who they're going to eat.
exactly.
But in
So,
a republic,
right,
that sheep has rights. They can't kill him. It's
right,
against the law. And the sheep can have an AR-15
right,
ready to go to protect himself.
right. And
So,
this isn't radicalism. This is truth. Our founding fathers intended for us to be, each one of us to be sovereign. I mean, we are by God sovereign souls.
mhm,
Okay. And we were intended, this country was intended to be a constitutional republic if you can keep it.
mhm,
And I think over the years, the past few decades at least, by design, they took God out of everything,
mhm.
right? And
Right.
and and people got away from God, and our country got away from God to a mass extent. Now we're coming back to God. We're putting God back into schools, back into um, our laws, our governing agencies, and
I
now
think, yeah,
deserve
I
now
think
we
what,
deserve to come back as a
yeah,
country.
I think one of my favorite our favorite passages is Thomas Jefferson, the Declaration of Independence, the laws of nature and nature's God. We
Mhm.
put these principles are based into our documents because it's the laws of nature and of nature's God. And what could be more clear than if the people decide that they don't like what the government is doing, they have the right to alter or abolish it. So how could anyone understand who's in charge? The people are in charge.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty strong, clear wording that if we don't like what's happening, we have the right to abolish it forever. That's enshrined in our Declaration of Independence.
Mhm.
So, we all have to wake up and realize our power. We have the power under our founding documents to control the government or eliminate it and start over. which is sounds like a really good idea right now.
Right.
So, I mean, and I think a lot of that is happening. I think good things are happening because more patriotic people have come into power just recently. It's been a
Right.
fabulous thing.
Right. Well, it's a
So,
process. I mean,
process.
we've been, we've been going down the wrong path since 1871. This doesn't happen overnight. And that's why we had to go through the last 4 years.
Right.
And from my research, and believe me, I look for all the receipts. Anything that I'm gravitating towards, it's because I'm seeing receipts, and then I'll dig further and I'll go further and further down the rabbit hole. But
Hmm.
I need receipts. I don't need some public opinion or what some guru is
Hmm.
saying, right? I want show me the receipts,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you can appreciate that because you know
Right.
real history, right?
Right.
So just a couple of quick things. Remember what President Trump said during his first inauguration. He said, we are giving the power back or the power is being given back to we, the people, you, the people,
Right.
because that's based on our constitutional republic. We got to get back to basics.
Right.
Everything should be governed at the county level.
Hmm.
The further you get up, they report to us
Hmm.
because we are on the local county level, right?
Right. Right.
Um, and the second thing is, again, like I said before, based on my research, based on the receipts that I see, the last 4 years was allowed to happen to
Hmm.
wake up people, because how are you going to unwind the last 50 years of lies? I'm
Hmm.
not going back 100 years. I'm just talking about people that are still with us, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
How do you unwind that? Well, one of my favorite quotes is, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. You
Hmm.
can't tell someone.
Hmm.
You can't tell them. They're not going
You
to
have to
believe.
show them.
It's cognitive dissonance. They have to feel the pain. They have to see the horrific
Hmm.
results, the destruction around them.
Hmm.
And it's horrible because many of us are suffering because of this last 4 years, but we're at war, people. We're at war. This
Hmm.
is a war for our souls,
Hmm.
right? Now, God wins, but on a practical sense, you had to show people.
Hmm.
He, again, based on my opinion, based
Hmm.
on my research,
Hmm.
we didn't allow them to steal it in 2016, but we did allow them to steal it in 2020.
Hmm.
That was strategic. This is
Hmm.
this is war.
Hmm.
And the reason we had to do that is to wake people up, because what's coming next, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah. Yeah.
People have no idea what's coming next,
Yeah.
how glorious it is.
Yeah.
And
Well,
God,
Trump always said we're going to get tired of winning.
yeah, but I mean, God's in charge, right?
Right. Right.
Um, and I do believe Trump was anointed
Yeah.
for this role,
Yeah.
right? Because
Hmm.
why else would he be doing it?
Hmm. Yeah.
And he's never lied to us.
Hmm.
He's always been right. And I'm just talking about President Trump right now from
Hmm.
a human level. And what does he promise us? We are about to embark into the golden era.
Hmm. A new age.
A new, I don't like to use the word new age because it sounds
Oh
like,
yeah, it's too new agey.
yeah. I said, call
Right.
it the golden era, golden
Right.
age,
Golden
gold.
age. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too.
And people that haven't, listen, I'm very awake, you're very awake. Everybody in the Constitutional Republic
Yeah.
involved right now is very awake. Most of
Mhm.
us.
Right. Right.
But listen closely to his words when President Trump talks.
Hmm.
Remember, he's not allowing the enemy, if you
Hmm.
will, the cabal, because there's still bad actors out there,
Oh yeah.
right?
Right.
He's not going to say everything
Hmm.
black and white.
Hmm.
He does talk in comms, and when you learn how he talks, you
Hmm.
understand
Hmm.
that just keep the faith. God wins.
Hmm.
I've met. I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to meet President Trump and have some one-on-one, um, brief conversations, if you will.
Oh, you're so lucky.
I know.
Yeah.
And he's got, first of all, he's like the funniest human being on the planet. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I know he is hilarious.
He's hilarious. And when he says things, you got to take that in consideration. He's got a
Right,
great sense of humor, right?
right, right.
And he's got a huge heart.
Yeah,
He's got a huge heart.
yeah,
Don't let the gruff exterior sometimes fool you.
yeah,
He grew up in the Queens, New
yeah.
York.
Right,
He's got a little, and
right.
he's a guy who's in construction and, you
Yep,
know, development all his life. He's hung out with tough
yep,
guy New Yorkers all, most of his life, but
yeah.
he's got the biggest heart. And you know what? I've seen him and I know of cases where he's helped the downtrodden, the people that are really, really in need of help
Right.
and helps them. And surprising, nobody saw it coming. And you know what? He doesn't look for recognition or
Mhm,
acknowledgement. He
mhm.
just does it because he's good. He's a good man. So good is coming. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, but remember, everything that you see, there's usually a strategy behind it, and it was
Right,
intentional.
right. Yeah,
Right? Like
yeah.
today, like today, he was sentenced,
Hmm. Right.
right? And
Yeah.
people were mad at SCOTUS for
Hmm.
not avoiding that. Well, if they did, then he couldn't appeal.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this is all planned. This is all for a
Yeah.
reason.
All
Now,
all these court cases have all fallen apart. They were
well,
all
he didn't break any laws.
didn't break any
He
laws.
didn't break any laws.
No. Mm-mm. No.
There's do your homework. You'll see there's not one law broken.
They send the most anti-Trump judges, most anti-Trump attorneys they can, and nothing happens
Right.
because he did nothing wrong.
Exactly. It's all for show.
Yep.
And you know what? It's teaching people if they can commit lawfare,
Hmm.
unjust lawfare with Tim, with the Republic, or with
Right.
President Trump, they
Hmm.
can do it to us
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
that. They could be knocking at our door right now.
Hmm. Yeah.
No warrant,
Hmm.
just kidnap us, throw us in jail. It's not the first time. I know another individual I just met with for lunch this week, um,
Hmm.
here locally in Palm Beach. They did the same thing to him. I won't mention his name, but
Hmm.
they did the same thing to him. He had to
Hmm.
serve 3 years in jail for not committing any crime, and they kidnapped him too. And guess what? They threw three of his sons in jail too,
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
because he was
Yeah.
resolving
Hmm.
that got sick with COVID.
Well, I don't think there's anything egregious as what they did to those of us who were in January 6th, went to
Oh yeah,
January 6th, and what the way they've treated those people and the monumental fraud of a trial. If there was ever something that could earn the name of a kangaroo court,
yep,
led by Liz Cheney, supposedly a Republican, um, is just awful. Because I was there.
I
And
know.
I know exactly what happened. I
Hmm.
saw carfuls of Antifa pulling up in brand new white vans,
Yeah,
kids jumping out of the cars with putting on Trump hats, running up to the Capitol building.
right.
And when I saw that, I was on my way. But when
Yeah.
I saw that, I said, Clyde, you better not go. My God, you got grandkids you're raising, you know,
Yeah.
101-year-old mother-in-law we're taking care of. I got responsibilities. I wanted to go. Listen, part of me wanted to go, you know,
Yeah.
and but I'm glad I didn't go all the way up. But that whole thing was just horrible, and those people need to have restitution. And I
And
think that's
retribution.
coming. I think that's coming soon. I think that.
Well, remember,
Hmm.
Cash Patel,
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pam Bondi,
Hmm. Hmm.
and everything that Trump said.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. Even with the elections. I mean, J6 is horrific.
yeah,
There's many other horrific, but it's coming. Justice is coming.
yeah.
And
It is.
it's
One other thing you just said is that about local assemblies, the county assemblies, how important they are. I just wanted to let you know my experience with our Palm Beach County Assembly. I'm so busy with the state stuff and the other things that I have going like this that I haven't been as involved as I want to, but the meetings I've gone to have been really, really inspiring.
Good.
People are learning what
Mhm.
we're doing, folks. You're going to be learning how to govern yourself again, govern yourselves at the local level instead of depending on government
Right.
for everything. And so basically, what we're going to be doing gradually is we're going to be reinstating our our county assemblies. Will be operating at the same time with the corporate, the corporate government. And there's going to be two kind of things going for a while, but I think it's going to happen very fast. There'll be a tipping point that's reached where people realize, hey, being free and being in one of these assemblies where we're actually, taking advantage of the opportunity to govern ourselves again instead
Mhm.
of these um, uh, corrupt mayors and judges and everything all over the country. We're just going to be able to clean that up. It's going to be a whole new thing. So it's going to happen. I think there's going to be a tipping point. I think we're getting closer and closer day by day.
Right.
So again, everybody listen to that. Please listen to those Colonel Sandy Mayarecki videos with SG Anon on Rumble. Um, Go
The
to members.republic for the United States of America. And then the other one, just the Republic for the United States of America. They both have different features. Sandy explains that in her video.
And
Uh,
it's .org too,
.org. Okay. Yeah.
because I think George Soros tried to
Oh,
rep
really?
direct people the wrong way, I think with the
Oh,
dot.
God.
I
Oh,
mean, it's being
yeah.
attacked, but the
Yeah.
good news is
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
get ready.
Folks, this is a great opportunity. I hope everyone listening to this will go to those websites, watch those videos, get involved because restoring the republic should be every person's in America number one priority, other than, supporting your family and all that. But this is for your family, for your children, for your grandchildren, for your great grandchildren. And, that's what we need to be doing. So I think unless you have anything else to say, Natalie, I think we've covered everything that we wanted to cover.
I agree. I agree. Thank you for having me on today. And yeah, I just would echo what you've just said. God first, family,
Mhm.
country, and if you want to leave a legacy, a positive legacy in this world, get involved. Get
Mhm.
involved. Do something.
Exactly.
Go to the website. We need people on the county levels to step in and help, and or just educate yourself so you can educate other people.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
everybody should get involved, and that's your legacy. You got involved. You didn't sit by and wait for other people to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
And folks, thank you for listening to us. And definitely get in touch with us if you have any questions. And thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Natalie.